You're listening to the Culture Cast. Culture Cast! Live from the Wolfpack Rumpus Room. The rumpiest room around. The very quick goes from clean to dirty. That's amazing. Clean to cluttered, I guess is the good word to use. For those of you listening at home, if you want to date this episode, Vince McMahon has announced the return of the XFL, otherwise known as the Extra Fun League. With all you season ticket holders, get ready.
You're listening to Chicagoland's finest podcast, featuring the Gorehound.
Well, because I'm bringing us in.
Jen.
I mean, it's horrifying because,
Cousin Charles. And Nick.
I know. I thought I was going to screw it up again.
It's time for the all-new Culture Cast, starting now.
I'm Nick.
I'm Cousin Charles.
And we're back with an all-new episode. First one for me for 2018. Is this the first one for you for 2018?
No, this is actually number 2. I was featured in the all-new Culture Cast podcast, or all-new Culture Cast episode on Bright.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was one that you guys did. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to jump on that one, because I subjugated myself to the movie Bright, and just in case, but I was unable to make it.
I was gonna say, if you hadn't seen it, you may have saved yourself an hour and a half.
Yeah, full disclosure, that movie was terrible. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. Tonight we're talking about Avengers Infinity War. I'm sorry, Crisis on Earth X. But it's the same thing as far as I'm concerned. With every single...
They're virtually identical.
Yeah. Why go to the theaters when you could stay home and watch it by yourself? But, and months earlier, we're recording this towards the end of January, and these episodes have been out for, I don't know what...
Couple months, maybe I think...
Around Thanksgiving. Like either right before or right after Thanksgiving of 2017, so... But I just got around to finishing watching it because I've been catching up with my DVR stuff lately, and so I turned to Cousin Charles. I was like, "Hey, let's talk about this," and you were like, "Okay." So I've been gone. I guess I should talk about my life because I'm very interesting. I've been gone for the past couple episodes because my wife, the Kiwi, just gave birth earlier this month to our baby daughter. And don't have a name for the daughter yet. I mean, we do have a name for the daughter, but I don't know how I'm going to refer to her on the podcast quite yet. But I'll think of something here in the future. But so that's been taking up a lot of time.
Just remember, Nick, whatever name you pick will stick forever on the internet.
I know, right?
Never go back.
Can never go back, ever. So, anyways, that's what's going on there. So. Today we're going to be doing our Crisis on Earth X, but before we get into that, let's go into one of our regularly scheduled topics or regular features. What have you been watching?
What have you been watching?
Cuz, you go first.
Certainly. This past weekend, I went to the movies, the actual picture box show. Went with a couple friends. We saw the film I, Tonya, the movie with Margot Robbie. That's Tonya Harding's life story.
Yeah, where they make Tonya Harding into like a hero or something like that. I haven't seen it, but like all the like previews and reviews and interviews like are trying to make Tonya Harding out to be like this saint. When I'm like, I thought she was the villain. I thought she was the bad person in all this.
Yeah, very much. 2/3 of this movie is the movie yelling at you, the audience, who may or may not even remember Tonya Harding. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm maybe too young to. That may have been too young to actually have any sort of cultural significance.
Mhm.
So 2/3 of the movie was the movie yelling at me saying, "You should all feel bad for making fun of Tanya Harding and ruining her career. Look how shitty her life was. You should feel bad. If you ever laughed at a Tanya Harding joke," which I don't know how many people had, "you should feel bad about every single one of those feelings." So that's 2/3 of the movie. And then kind of in the middle, there's sort of like a blue-collar, quirky crime caper. And then it goes back into the "you should feel bad about making fun of Tanya Harding." But the movie's good. I mean, it's well made. I really like, surprisingly, I really like the skating stuff. I don't know what they did, because it feels like there's some sort of green screen work, but it feels very stylized, so it kind of, it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's good, but, I mean...
Not great.
I recommend... It's not anything that's good, like, "I, Tanya, changed my life," or anything like that, but it's definitely one of those movies that you should probably... I recommend bringing a bottle of Prozac, because, oh my god, you will feel terrible about everything afterwards. And then the other thing that I've been watching, and I just finished this recently on the Netflix, was it's a short little, I think it's supposed to be going to be 8 parts, but right now they only have 4 of the episodes on Netflix. Some called The Toys That Made Us.
Oh, yeah. I started watching the first episode, the Star Wars one,
Yes.
and I was like, I don't give a shit about Star Wars toys. Or, like, it's stuff that I kind of already knew. I do want to watch the He-Man one, though, but I have not had the time or over-desire to revisit it yet.
Yeah, Star Wars one is not as engaging as you'd think. He-Man is pretty good, and so is the G.I. Joe one.
Yeah, I bet that would be, yeah.
Yeah, and I like them because I kind of like documentaries that sort of explore sort of a little bit of weird, sort of a little out there subject.
Nerd!
Oh my god! Like, okay, you saw the Star Wars one, so you saw that one guy had the Obi-Wan Ranch or like something like that. It's like this warehouse of like Star Wars toys. It's like,
You know,
my god.
I didn't finish it, but that doesn't surprise me that that thing exists. That there's someone out there.
Like, they have 4 episodes, but the Star Wars one is the only one that I can think of where they have like the guys who are like, "Here's all my toys." It's like, and they're like, they're the kind of guy. They look like the kind of guys who would have a room full of like collectibles everywhere.
Did
And it's just like, oh my god.
do you recommend the
Toys That Made Us? Yes, I do. It's a very, like I said, it's a very cute little documentary series. It's kind of, it is fascinating to kind of find out how a lot of these sort of iconic toy lines have just sort of, I guess sort of always, for me at least, always sort of been around. But for someone like you, who kind of grew up with like He-Man and like the '80s G.I. Joe, sort of were very much a part of your childhood. It's interesting to kind of see where all these ideas came from and stuff like that. And yeah, so very recommended. And I'm waiting for part 2, which apparently includes like Transformer and stuff. So I would like to see that.
That would be a good one. Just for the record, I used to have a bunch of He-Man toys. I regret getting rid of them now.
Did you have like which figures did you have?
Oh, I had He-Man, I had Skeletor, I had Tila, I had Triclops, I didn't have Beastman, but I had the one, I think it was Doublehead or something like that. I had a bunch of them, and I got rid of them when I was little because, after a certain age, you sell the toys off, you're not playing with them. Oh man, what I would do for a Skeletor figure nowadays would be fantastic, but sadly, those are worth quite a bit of dough. But
To the Masters of the Universe, they're worth quite a lot.
yeah, I've been rewatching that show. Speaking of,
I can get you
I've been rewatching that show, Masters of the Universe, on because it's on Netflix. It's so bad, but it's like awesomely bad. Like it's really like it's like 80s cheesiness, but I absolutely adore Skeletor. He's the greatest Saturday morning villain ever.
So what have you been watching, Nick?
A lot of different things. I've been sort of occupying my time because when you're with a little baby, there's not much you can really actually do. So I've been watching a lot of Beat Bobby Flay and Chopped, and if I never see these two shows ever again, that'll be too soon. Seeing it once in a while, that's fine. Watching it in marathons, like days at a time, makes you want to pull your hair out. But what are you gonna do? But more seriously, I have watched a show on HBO called Vice Principals, starring Danny McBride and Walter Goggins, and complete thumbs up. It's only like 19 episodes long, so it's a very short show, and it was intentionally designed that way. And it's absolutely hilarious. It's a dark comedy, and probably the most accurate portrayal of teachers and administration done on television that I have seen. And any teacher or administrator who says no are fooling themselves. But and I can say that because I work in education and I used to be on the staff of a high school, so I have some authority on on my perspective there. But
The accuracy of Vice Principals.
I mean it's a goofy show, but like just the basics are, oh my god! But it's a very, very funny show. I highly recommend it. That's I guess the main thing that I've been checking out there. So alrighty. Well, we have no man crush of the week because the Gorehound is not here. So thumbs down on that. But let's face it, it was probably going to be the guy from Mr. Robot or David Duchovny or the guy from Shameless, because those are the three guys he always goes to. But we'll find out more man crush next week, I suppose. So,
Who will take the top spot? Stay tuned.
yes, same CultureCast time, same CultureCast channel. And that's actually a good segue into our topic of the day, Crisis on Earth X, the 4-part, probably the most ambitious crossover that the CW superhero shows have actually done, including Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. So, yes, let's start off. What did you think of Crisis on Earth X, Charlie?
I enjoyed it like most of the CW superhero shows, where like there are some parts that are just really awesome, and like I'm into it, I'm grooving with it, and then there's some parts that really sort of let me down. There's really only one part that I can think of that really let me down, and we'll get into that in probably a bit. Mm-hmm. But overall, like this was a true to form. This was a really good crossover because it really did flow much more like these aren't like 4 separate compartmentalized things.
Yeah, it was like one big story.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is like this is what a crossover should feel like. Because like I compared it to last year because that was the first time they attempted it, and it was very much like, okay, Supergirl shows up, but
Supergirl episode last year had nothing to do with anything else except at the very, very end.
And even that part they re-showed again in The Flash because nobody watched Supergirl.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah. So that one was really like a 3-part thing, but you're totally right. That felt compartmentalized because, especially the Arrow episode, which was also its 100th episode, it was like very Arrow-centric, and everyone else was like, not around.
And plus, the Arrow episode was, they decided to do the typical superhero story of, basically like they just took the Alan Moore story of for the man who has everything, where it's like the superhero gets to live their idealized life, There's no heroics, they have the girl, they got everything, but something doesn't feel right, and they realize that being a superhero is what's important to them all along, or something along those lines. I think pretty much after I think Flash did it, I want to say, I'm not sure if Legends has done anything like that, but I know the Supergirl show also adapted that same story, and every superhero medium that I can think of does some variation on that episode, on that type of story, where it's like they wake up and they're in a world where they're not a superhero anymore. So, yeah, which is fine, because, like, you know, for Arrow, it's like 100 episodes, which for the CW is a milestone. I mean...
the CW shows, they last longer than people, I think, realize, because you have things like when Smallville was on, that lasted like 10 years. Supernatural's on like season 28 or something right now.
Yeah.
So, like, per capita, I would bet that CW has more longer running shows than the other networks have. But
oh yeah, and it's kind of amazing that they're able to produce this much television and keep these shows on the air, because they usually they get a pretty decent viewing and track record. Like, they don't. It's not like they fizzle out and they just keep pumping more money into them. Like, they get decent viewership. So,
and also the CW has lower standards. Like, if any other, that's one of the reasons why Supergirl was transferred over to the CW, because on CBS the ratings were okay, but not what CBS would normally want. Whereas on the CW, those ratings are phenomenal. So, you know, it's...
Yeah, it's kind of... I mean, not to get too sidetracked, we'll get to Earth X in just a second, but it's kind of weird that they even put it on CBS to begin with, and not just immediately on the CW. Like...
Yeah, I think some of that, like, the CW, I don't think wanted it yet, because they didn't want to be known as the superhero network. How times have changed. But, yeah, so, it's fine. But, yeah, so Earth X, we have the first, well, it's not the first, like last year they did the Invasion storyline, and then before that they had just the Arrow Flash crossover that set up Legends of Tomorrow with Vandal Savage. And then the year before that, they had it wasn't a crossover, but like the Flash guest starred on Arrow and Arrow guest starred on Flash. So it wasn't like one storyline, it was just happened to be on each other's show. So they've gotten more and more ambitious as time has gone on.
They connected. I think I remember that first crossover, which was a measly 4 years ago. Or 3 years ago, I don't know. But it was like, I think it was Captain Boomerang. I remember there was one line on Flash about like, oh, we're in Central City because these boomerangs, they came from here.
Yeah,
never mentioned throughout the episode.
Yeah, it was very flimsy at best, but in these 4 episodes, Barry and Iris are finally getting married, and it gets crashed by Nazis, some of which I'm sure are very fine people. But they want to invade the Earth 1, and since all the superheroes are in town for Barry and Iris's wedding, they all decide we need to stop those guys. And as it's ultimately revealed, their grand scheme is that they need Supergirl's heart because the Supergirl of Earth X is dying, and she needs a transplant. Why did they know to come to Earth 1 and not Supergirl's Earth? That's my question.
Yeah, that is kind of... Yeah, because it's like, okay...
I hope someone noticed that plot hole and got fired for it.
Take that, CW writers. We saw right through your ruse. Yeah, no, I guess I didn't kind of realize that that's really their whole reason for invading is just... Yeah, no, because it would have been a lot easier just to, like, go to her Earth, kidnap, I don't know, somebody, like, who's there, like, Jimmy Olsen, like...
Win? Maybe Win?
Yeah, Win's pretty much Jimmy Olsen, like, as I remember the character. Like, say, come with us, or otherwise we're going to rip it, we're going to eviscerate him or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, okay, we're going to go where all the superheroes are hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I missed something in the episode that explained why they were going to go to that Earth, but that's yeah.
I'm just gonna go with the simple answer of they're evil Nazis. They found technology that allows them to go to other Earths, and they just want to conquer it. That's a simple, easy villain motivation. That's all you need. We're Nazis. We got technology. We're going to conquer some stuff.
I liked a lot of these episodes. I liked how, for one, they renamed all the shows. It wasn't Supergirl, Arrow, Flash. They just renamed them all Crisis on Earth X. So it made it feel like an actual event miniseries. And I kind of liked how things actually happened that would impact, maybe not Supergirl, but all the other shows. Like Barry and Iris got married. What's his face? Oliver and Felicity got married when they hijacked the wedding at the end there.
Yeah, we'll get to that later because I got some thoughts. But yeah.
Professor Stein died. Like stuff like happened that would actually impact the show. The shows. Unlike, I felt like the previous crossover was very Flash centric, and like the other events weren't like reflected on any of the other shows. Like Supergirl doesn't mention about, oh yeah, I went to this other Earth, or Arrow doesn't mention the fact that he saved Earth from aliens. Which is an annoying plot point because in this season of Arrow, he's being like tracked by an FBI woman saying like, I'm going to arrest the Arrow. Shouldn't the Arrow be like a worldwide hero? But again, shh, gotta look the other way. But
the president in the last episode just gave him a secret ceremony because the president isn't going to acknowledge, yeah, we just almost got invaded by aliens and some people in leather just saved our asses. So
true,
good job, world.
You think I don't know. Well, that's a discussion for another day. But so everyone's on Earth 1. Let's first talk about the wedding of Iris and Barry. I'm confused at the guest list. Like, why was for one, where did Iris and outside of the superheroes, where did Iris and Barry meet all these other friends, which you never hear them talk about or they never hang out with them? But full house for the wedding. I'm
assuming everybody's got distant aunts and uncles that they just decided, hey, we're going to be here for this.
I guess. I wonder if any of those family relatives were weirded out that Barry and Iris were marrying each other because they're basically siblings. But, whatever.
Yeah, his sister wife.
His sister wife, yeah. Can I just say that poor priest that got like vaporized? It's like, and that guest list. Why was Heatwave invited to the wedding?
Yeah, no, that's a little. Yeah, that one's a little kind of harder to explain. Like, were they friends? Like, they even say, yeah, I tried to kill him a couple times.
There's no reason for him to be at the wedding. Like, they're not buddies. They're not friends. Like, it makes no sense for him to be there, especially since he was sitting next to which made for a funny scene next to
the captain.
The captain. And why was
do I know you?
Yeah. Why was Sarah Lance invited to the wedding? Did she really know Barry? I didn't think they knew each other.
No, I'm like I said, I've been thinking. I was trying to think about that. I was like, no, they really don't have any sort of like relationship. Like the only three members of Stein, Jax, and then I guess Heatwave by the fact that yeah. But the only justification I think they give is like she's the captain and it's an away mission or something like that. But it's very loose.
Yeah. I mean, for that matter, why didn't they invite Ray? Why wasn't Ray there? I mean, he and Barry were buddies.
Yeah, or why do people get left out? Like, just bring everyone. Why isn't everyone just here just to save face?
Yeah. Now, I know the real reason is because they can't afford to have everyone on all the different episodes. I get that, but it's just kind of weird. Like, they wanted Sarah to be in them all, so they needed her there. They needed Heatwave there. Yeah, it was just kind of weird. And can I say, as someone who's gotten married within the last 2 years, that, like, no one RSVP'd up until the day before, including Supergirl, who decided to go there last minute on a whim.
Yeah. To be fair, Supergirl's got a little bit more of an excuse that she's in another universe altogether.
True.
But I will say that's kind of like pretty crappy behavior. Like, what? Nobody RSVP'd?
Yeah.
But I will say it was a fun scene watching them all kind of have this sort of like
Yes.
casual conversation as Barry's fighting King Shark, Supergirl's fighting a Dominator, Arrow's fighting ninjas, just random ninjas. It's like,
Right.
great.
That was very fun. I mean, I'm being very nitpicky. I mean, this is like nitpicky bullshit I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Because it was meant to be a fun, silly scene, but yeah.
Yeah, it was very. I do like it. Again, the first part of this episode, leading up until the actual wedding, was very fun, very casual, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. I was like, this is kind of like when I enjoy these shows, just watching these characters sort of just bounce off each other, and it's like, it's great. It's it's great just watching these characters I see on their own shows, sort of just like, quip and things like that. Like, it's fun and definitely helps set the tone for, I guess, things to come.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. Let's so we have the wedding, and I liked how the first episode, you were kind of alluding to this, there was like a slow build. Like, it wasn't like wedding, Nazis invade within the first 15 minutes. It wasn't until like the back half of the first episode that the characters popped in, that the Nazis popped in, and I like how that sort of built over a while, and it allowed them to like kind of flesh out each character, having each character deal with different things, and like Alex hooked up with Sarah, and then the whole firestorm trying to separate itself from one another.
Yeah.
And, like, they have a lot of good setup that's happening. Yeah.
Now let's get into the the first big action sequence of this crossover, the wedding fight, which is pretty. I will say probably one of the highlights. Like, I will say it's probably, like, don't get me wrong, the other fights in the rest of this crossover were good, but this one was like had a lot of energy, felt really creative of putting these different heroes together, like Supergirl and Arrow and Flash just kind of using all their different powers and to fight off this Nazi invasion. I really liked it. It was like, I was like, this is exactly what I want. This is like everything I kind of wanted from a crossover like this. To see everybody showing off their own sort of special skill set, and it's great. One thing, or I guess another question, what do you think of and like I said, because I'm when it comes to like comic book stuff like that, I'm always a big fan of like design. What do you think of the evil versions or the Nazi-fied versions of our heroes?
It's fine. I had no strong opinions one way or another. It seemed pretty, they're bad, so they should be wearing dark colors and black and all of that stuff, so...
Okay, yeah.
It's fine.
I just want to make sure, because I was like, yeah, these are pretty bland designs, and also they wear like these really dumb masks, so that way they can have a stunt double.
Yeah, and also not to like try to hide the least surprising twist that these people are
evil versions of our heroes.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I like the reveal of Tommy. That Tommy was the evil world's Prometheus. That was a nice. It's good seeing him back, even if it was for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, it's too bad that doesn't go anywhere. But I will say I did enjoy, because I think that was in season 5 of Arrow. I think that was one of the fan theories, was that Prometheus is Tommy Merlin. So it's kind of like, hey, we heard you. So Tommy is Prometheus. It's like, oh, cool. So
I didn't think of that. I remember that was a theory, but I didn't think that was the reason they did that. Okay. Thumbs up, writers.
You listen to the fans.
So can we talk about the return of Eobard Thawne for no explicable reason?
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I got some thoughts on this aspect of this sort of evil trio.
Like, I would get that. One, why couldn't he just be the Nazi version? Why did he have to be the Eobard Thawne that we know? Two, why couldn't he be from like an earlier point? Like, why did he have to be like the current one? Like, that takes place after all the other, when he fought Flash and he fought the Legends, because he's like died like 2 times now, and like he's just back, and it's like, and they offer no explanation about how he's back. He just is.
Well, not only that, he's back, and he also has the Harrison Wells face, just cause.
They did explain that. I will give him credit. They did explain that. And
what was their explanation? I don't even remember.
Because he said he wanted to put on an old face for Barry, just to like screw with him. I think the real reason is one or two. One, they couldn't get the actor back to do it, or two, they wanted to use the actor in the villain role.
I'm probably gonna go with option number 2, but at the same time, like, he also does something. He does something different with his voice. That's like, it's not the same. I don't want to say it's. I'm not trying to get too critiquey, like, but it's like, it's not the same performance as like when he did it during season 1. You know what I mean? Like, it felt distinctly different. Like, I'm not, because he was like more raspy and stuff like that. I was like, I don't remember him being so raspy and like sort of, he's like quietly yelling. I don't remember that. Like, I remember him being very charismatic and stuff like that, but a little sarcastic, but I don't remember him being quite like this, which I was like, okay, cool. Tom Cavo, or I don't even know how to say his last name, is back as Harrison back as Eobard Thawne. Okay, that's cool, but he's not acting how I remember he was, which is kind of off-putting. And plus, I would have rather have seen, our 3 heroes, and all 3 of our heroes, evil doppelgangers. It's like evil Oliver, evil Supergirl, evil Kara, and no evil Barry. Okay,
yeah, it's true. We didn't have an evil Barry.
Yeah, it's like, or maybe there was a reason, like, I killed your world's Flash, or Earth X's Flash, or something like that. I will say, they do, this is jumping a little bit forward later in the episode, I do like that they drop some sort of weird line about Eobard saying that he fought Superman once.
Yes, I caught that.
And somehow like won, which is okay. So did he travel to? I guess this is me getting a little too fanboyish, but did he travel to Supergirl's Earth and fight Superman there, or do the worlds like merge in the future, and Superman's now existing alongside Arrow and Flash?
Well, they did preview. In the Flash, they have referenced a crisis event that's going to happen in the future. So it's possible that there's some sort of version of the Crisis on Infinite Earths that will appear that the Flash and whatnot and Superman and all of them will be a part of. Or they're just trying to put some groundwork on a future crossover that they will bring in the Supergirl, Superman. So, who knows?
That would be pretty cool, but yeah, that's the only thing I got disappointed with the villains is like no evil Barry and Eobard Thawne's like, we've done Eobard Thawne so many times. Why are we doing him one more time? It's like it's not as I don't know. It wasn't as fun as I thought it could have been.
Well, maybe they didn't do Evil Barry because they did that last year for Savitar.
Yeah, but like they did like sad evil. They didn't do like campy, over the top. I'm a really evil. Mustache twirly Barry. That's the kind of evil I want.
Well, maybe in the future. I don't know, but
if the CW ever gets my fan letters.
And why did Barry let him go at the end? That's my question.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, that's kind of weird. You just like go.
It's like, all right, go, so we can fight again. I mean, I could stop you right now, but nah.
Yeah, no, it's kind of. Yeah, no, that doesn't make any. That's like that's very weak, considering that the other versions of like the Nazi Oliver and Nazi Supergirl got very definitive ends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, Arrow just put two in his doppelganger's chest. Like, see ya, sucker. And then the other one just exploded.
So, again, this is very, very, very nitpicky stuff, but because I thought overall the Crisis on Earth X crossover was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I liked how like each part led into the next. It wasn't compartmentalized like you had mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
It was it worked pretty good, I thought.
I kind of liked each episode sort of had really one big action sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like everything built to like that one big thing. Like first one is the wedding fight. The one after that, I think, is when they fight the evil versions in like a warehouse, which is like not nearly as good if I recall. And then the last one is like the third part is when Flash and then the Ray, which I guess we'll talk about the Ray, I guess, for a little bit. Flash and the Ray are trying to fight Red Tornado, which is pretty fun, while everyone else is trying to get to the portal or something like that. And
Get to the chopper.
And then it ends with all of our heroes defending one block of downtown Vancouver from the Nazis. No, like I said, yeah. Do you want to get into like yeah? Let's see, where we leave up. So we left off kind of like part 2, I guess, or I think we kind of not too much happens in like the second part, in my opinion. Like they sort of all recover and then they realize, oh, we're fighting Nazi versions. But I can't think of anything significant from that second part. Can you?
No, other than they sort of figure out, like, it's a lot of standing around and figuring things out. I think half the team goes to try to find where Earth X is, and the other half of the team is attacked by Earth X, because Earth X people take over Star Labs.
Yes.
And we learn that, the half team is kidnapped at Earth X, and the other half of the team is kidnapped in the other in Star Labs there. So, yeah.
The one thing that I will say, and this is my nitpicky with this part, is okay. So this whole event is like all hands on deck, right? Mm-hmm. Where's Kid Flash? Where's the Kid Man? These two heroes that should be able to help.
Yeah, they definitely, and like the whole crew of the Wave Rider, because there's a line that says, "Oh, Wally, go take Iris." No, or is Iris around?
No, it's like go
with these people and keep them safe or something or other. And I think it was keeping Joe safe.
Joe and Joe's girlfriend, I think.
That's right.
It's like a really lazy way. It's like, are you guys sure? You don't need another speedster?
Yeah,
I'm just as fast as the Flash.
Yeah, And then, and like half the crew of the Wave Rider, like, hey guys, get down here. We can use your help. We have Nazis invading. Like I could see the Atom and
Yeah.
other guy. Oh, I'm totally blanking on that.
Captain Steel.
Yeah. And,
Citizen Steel, I think is what the name is, but
yeah, like all those folks and the Vixen and all of that. And like, why didn't like Supergirl should have called up like her buddies, like, hey, Martian Manhunter, who does nothing ever on Supergirl, so I guess that he wouldn't do anything on this either. But he doesn't. I'm so annoyed that he doesn't do anything on that show. Like he has the powers of Superman, but he just sits back like, nah, I'm good.
yeah, and I've only seen a handful of Supergirl episodes, but Martian Manhunter, it seems like whenever he's like in human form, he's like, my telepathy isn't working now.
Yeah.
Or a gentle breeze just knocks him over. Oh no, Martian Manhunter is incapacitated for the rest of this fight.
Yeah, they definitely do that a lot. But anyway, so there's that. But eventually they all get in on the fight towards the end there. But so yeah, I don't know. Okay, we were talking earlier. We're kind of going long here, so I don't wanna babble on too much. But what did you were talking about earlier about the double wedding at the end? And you had some thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on the double wedding?
It was. I don't know why the CW keeps doing this. It's like if you have a friend who's like an addict, and they, and like you're seeing their progress, and you're like, oh, you're doing so good, man. You're hitting those milestones, and then all of a sudden they just fall right back into those habits. That's how I feel about the CW shows. It's like they just can't stay away from the relationship BS, from the relationship bullshit. It's just like, because it's like whenever they focus on like lyrics or like fun dialogue and stuff like that, it's like, great, the show is firing in all cylinders. I'm into it. Let's keep going. That's why I really enjoy Legends, because it has the least amount of that relationship BS. Mm-hmm. But then it's just like you're keeping it good for all of the special, and then right at the end, oh, not only are we going to do Barry and Iris's wedding, then Felicity's just going to hijack, like as if like we need more of a reason to dislike her character. Felicity's just going to hijack it and just say, yeah, we're going to get married too. It's just like, what? What? No! And that's how we end this whole thing on, this whole grand adventure of stopping evil Nazi versions of yourself from taking over the world. We end it on a double wedding that a lot of people, I think a lot of people aren't really fans of, and I'm not sure who this is. Like, who wanted this? Who wanted the double wedding? Why? Like, it's not even like Oliver proposed to Felicity, which is kind of like a, which is like a move that happens that I've seen happen at other weddings. Mm-hmm. It's, no, we're going to get married while you're getting married. This is no longer your special moment. This is our special moment. It's like in the middle of a park, with the one friend that you just kidnapped at, supersonic speeds.
Yeah, he's like totally like, yeah, okay, I'll marry you. No problem. Yeah, I don't care about. I thought the relationship stuff on these shows, it's fine. I don't think it's too bad. Like compared to say the Smallville days, which was a lot. This is small potatoes compared to that. But the double wedding seemed kind of, I don't know. I guess it was supposed to be unexpected, but like unnecessary. I mean, I never was a fan of the whole Felicity and Oliver relationship, because I thought the two actors had no chemistry whatsoever. But and I never quite understood Oliver's interest in Felicity, because he never showed any interest. But people
online, those damn shippers.
The fans love it. I mean, I don't know, but that's I figure it was going to happen eventually, so it's like a Band-Aid, one tear right off, and now we don't have to deal with it. But
I will say, there's nothing more romantic than getting married alongside your best friend with the smell of vomit in the air.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
forget-
true. Diggle vomited, didn't he?
Yeah, because I love that's like a running thing. Whenever Barry like Supersonic picks Super Speed picks him up, he just like throws up immediately afterwards. Like that's great. Yeah. So that no, I really it was just kind of a down note to leave the to sort of leave to kind of end this whole thing on. Especially considering that there were some really high points, like there's a lot in this special. Like we have the stuff on Earth X, and you're meeting the Resistance, or Resistance versions of our characters, and then of course we have the death of Professor Stein, which unfortunately I was on Reddit, and someone on there spoiled that he was going to die, which really sucks because I wish I hadn't had that spoiled, but at the same time, it was a really good death. It was a really effective death scene. Like I felt teary-eyed. I was like, "Oh my god, this is tragic." Like, and like I like that it was like the whole we're going to do this for the professor. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, you stop those Nazis.
So overall, would you recommend this one? You give it the Cousin Charlie thumbs up?
I would, especially if you've been following either one or a couple of these shows this year. I would definitely say it's a fun detour, but at the same time, it's also very integral to a lot of these stories. Sorry, go ahead.
I kind of wonder how they're going to do this on DVD. If they're going to, because I think the first time they did a crossover, like with Arrow and Flash, they put the other episode on the other DVD set. So like Flash had both the Arrow episode and its episode, and Arrow had the two. But I think last year, since it was a multi-part one, each box set of the series only had their respective part, and this is going to be even more confusing because I can imagine, let's say someone's just watching Legends on Netflix or on DVD sets, they're going to get to this, they're going to have no idea what's going on, and then like the Legends episodes being hijacked by this double wedding that will affect two other shows. And it's just be weird watching. I think it'd be cool if they just had this as like a separate release. Like
it really does work. Yeah, I would totally agree. Like, because if you want, because they pretty much put two episodes back to back, and it's like, I'll be honest, unless you were watching the clock, I had no idea when one because it was very. I don't want to say because it was very seamless. Like sort of one thing led to another. It was like. Again, the 3-hour movie that it was intended to be, and it was kind of one of those things where I suppose you could, but at the same time, it would be really detrimental. Like, okay, so apparently a lot of stuff happened. Because these characters are involved.
Didn't Stein actually die or get injured in the not in the Legends episode, but the one whatever one was before? It might have been Arrow. Or the Flash, so he doesn't even die on his own show.
No, he would. He dies on
whatever part 3 was.
I think the way it works, part 1 was Supergirl technically. Part 2 was Arrow. I don't know how that works. Part 3 was the Flash part, and then part 4 was Legends. So he gets mortally wounded in the what would be considered the Flash part, and then he dies in the Legends part. And don't forget, between if you only saw maybe parts 1 and 2, and missed out on part 3, don't forget they introduced not only the Ray, they also introduced Citizen Cold, which is which I actually kind of enjoyed. Yeah, it was he's super Mr. Citizen. He's all about following the rules, and he's I love that they made him this over-the-top good guy. It's oh, that's great. Especially in the Legends episode that followed after, which is probably
where he's doing the therapy.
Yeah, he just has this puppet.
That looked like Stein. That was hilarious.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of lost it a little bit. Like, oh my god, where did he get the puppet? Why does he have the puppet? Like, and he's just like, I think you all need therapy. It's just like, what? This is so out there, but it's great because it is so out there. But so I really do hope there would be a separate release for it because it works a lot better as it's. I'd be actually interested to see it as all 4 parts back to back to back instead of because like you said, part 2 ends with we're in the Earth X concentration camp, and it's like the cliffhanger. It's like, okay, that's a good cliffhanger to leave it on until tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Same arrow time, same arrow channel.
Stay tuned. I guess the only last big nitpick, since we're kind of like near the...
I feel like we're shitting on this a lot when I don't mean to. I really like the crossover.
No, yeah, if anyone gets the impression we're shitting on it, we're not. Like, we very much enjoyed this. This was good.
It was better than Justice League, allegedly, because I haven't seen Justice League yet. But that's word on the street. Yeah,
same word on the street. I've kind of vowed to stay away from a lot of the DC movies because every time I see Henry Cavill's face, I just get depressed because he just reminds me of sad Superman.
I did see some of the stuff online with his like CGI mustache removal. Oh my god, that's so distracting.
See, on the CW show, they don't have the budget to do a CGI mustache removal. They're just like, makeup, shave them. But what was I getting at? Oh, no, like, we have nitpicks, but we nitpick because we care, I would say. The one big, really dumb nitpick I will say is, okay, so they have that cool shot, the revisor dog shot, I'm going to call it, where they're all walking down, they're like, yeah, we're about to mess up some Nazis. And
cool guys that look at explosions!
Exactly. And there's like a good 50 feet between our heroes and then the Nazis. And for some reason, even though the Nazis have guns...
They don't fire.
They just like, all right, guys, we'll use them as clubs. Get in there, boys!
Nazis are dumb.
Yeah. What they really needed was Jake and Elroy Blues with the Bluesmobile to drive right through them.
Earth X Nazis. I hate Earth X Nazis.
Well, that should be a good caption for this podcast.
You know what? They could have, with the Wave Rider, I'm surprised they didn't do something like that, because that would be totally up Legends Alley. Like if they just plow through the Nazi people with the Wave Rider. And I don't know, whoever's driving it, Rory or whoever, I don't know. This is why they don't hire me to write these episodes. But so yeah, I gave it a thumbs up. The Crisis on Earth X. It was a lot of fun, a good time had by all. So let me ask you this: I don't have any trivia for tonight. At least I don't know what trivia I can come up with. But you said you sometimes watch Supergirl. Have you been watching it all this season?
A little bit. I've been at least keeping up with it enough to know what's kind of going on, but not. I have a general idea of what's going on, but I haven't really been watching it too much.
Well, all right. I'm going to make this prediction to you right now. So the main. I kind of figured out after 3 episodes of this new season about how exactly this new season is going to end.
Okay.
So you have the villain named Rain, and Rain has in her quote-unquote secret identity is a normal person who of course has become friends with Kara and the rest of the group. She also has a daughter. Her secret identity does not realize that she's Rain. It's kind of like an Incredible Hulk thing going on.
Right.
And in another plot, Alex has recently broken up with her fiance because Alex wants kids and her fiance didn't. So my prediction and I put this together after episode 3, and I'm becoming more and more convinced this is going to happen, is that by the end of the season, Rain is going to die either by she sacrifices herself or the good guy persona takes control or something. But she's going to die, and her daughter will be adopted by Alex. And then they can keep them on the show. And it'll add a whole nother perspective to the show going forward. I see that happening. Like just this past week, they had an episode where Alex is babysitting the daughter, and they bond really well. I'm like, this is the direction they're going. And mark my words, this is what's going to happen.
Nick, that's just stupid enough to work.
I mean,
That-
Just
I'll put. You know what? I'll put $5 on it. Yeah, that's probably what's going. If that's not what happens, I will be genuinely shocked.
so.
Although I will say this has been this is about the crossover, but I will end probably my part by talking about Supergirl. I'm surprised. Like I get they can't use Batman. All right.
Yet.
Like I'm fine with that.
They mentioned Bruce Wayne.
They have mentioned Bruce Wayne. They have mentioned Bloodhaven. I know that Alex's fiance, Renee Montoya, was at one point dated in the comics. Dated.
Charlie. It wasn't Renee Montoya. She was Maggie Sawyer. That's a completely different character. And get it right. Don't you know anything about comics? Gah.
It's because I'm such a Marvel fanboy. Is that it?
You're a stupid Marvel zombie. Anyway, you were saying?
I just want to put Batwoman on the show. I would see that. That would make. If you put anybody from Batman's, any one of like Batman's like sidekicks, like part of that Bat family, in Supergirl, viewership just went up like 1,000 degrees.
Just get Batgirl in there, or Batgirl, or Batwoman.
Yeah, one of the two.
Because I know they're trying to make a Bat chick. Oh my god! I know they're trying to make a Batgirl movie, directed by Joss Whedon, but I could see them doing Batwoman because I don't see them adding her anytime soon.
Yeah, no, but I don't. I'm like I said. I don't know. I really like. I hope the other. I mean, currently, of all the 4 shows involved in the crossover, the one that I am really enjoying the most is Legends because of how silly and fun it is.
Mm-hmm.
And just like television can be fun and stuff like that. But I mean, I hope the other shows, like this crossover was a highlight of like this past year. And I hope the other shows can like sort of, get better and get like on the level of being fun and just awesome. Or instead of there's a reason why I call the Arrowverse shows a labor of love, because it is just like you're almost there. You almost got it. You just got a couple ingredients off, but you're almost there.
All right, fair enough. All right, I guess that's going to do it for us. We've been talking for a long, long time. This will take forever to edit, but that's okay. This has been the all-new Culture Cast. I'm Nick.
I'm Cousin Charles.
And thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the all-new Culture Cast. Check out our blog at znculturecast.wordpress.com. Send us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, comments, and requests. Follow us on social media. Theme music by bensound.com. The all-new Culture Cast, a saltwater production. Original material copyright 2018. Thanks for listening.
Oh yeah, I remember that story. They swindled you good.
Yeah. It swindled me hard.